Hidden with the connection of repeating like waves. Hidden with the connection of repeating like waves. Hidden with the connection of repeating like waves. We have always been, still ever being for the treasure, so now ashore. With your cosmic happening for the soaking with its energy for the hidden connections, repeating like the waves and have been for the sever. Still looking, always been. How to be that for the could be the looking into the eyes of death you told. Never wanted what was said, but I love you. How can you own something that belonged to someone else and you could find that for what was told? Not to be called the names, but it was the people that hurt for the, it was the not to know the gotten to. Spit that name for the only be the ripper for the who words, a smile for the incapable of emotion for the love, hate, sadness, joy, sees down for the pointless notions of mankind. Foolish enough for the cadaver waiting to die. Taking what he wants and kept with the others, just swatting up a fly for never seen the nights in the quiet. Moment for the little another monster that dwelling inside for the beast. Hunting inside the dark dreams for the night for the shadows and hidden cross of that victim of the sight. He prides himself too much for the modern day Jack the Ripper. Purging society, disgust, street, walking as sinners in a madman, swoop, to prey like a dragon hawk, leaving the bloody for the unlived from the boardwalk. Numbness and you can find a normality for the placing within yourself and like the God with the power. You can find the taking with the liver, the vibrant, the crushing yourself with the dying flower. The illusion of mind for the truly horrific of the playground. Do evil without the bounds of the demanded for the third man. Go around and for now I can find that. Do you remember who once upon a time you done lost on tribulations, pat for the river to be flowing, for the to be cutting through the courtyard, for the country, for the weaving through the mountain landscape, taken to the river bed shifted for the aluminum to be the course of rubber. You had the pebbles to the big boulders, and you could find that back in the day, whether you were younger, for the nuts, for the pages inside the book, for the concern about your rough wrath and the entitlement. The flame within you for the life, for the better, for the tomorrows, for the round, to find your dream for the goal, for you could remember the sunny afternoon for the one when they hung, sung the songs and cheered and merrily ran out for the rich and invading yourself for the pounding. Sway to the chorus, and you can find that in deep enough for the nature, for the do you remember the dark gloomy days? Tears spilled for the sky, for the sky, for the damning for the dark clouds, and the bitter for the cold for the days, so you can find the husband hugging over the grip, and you can remember the reaching of the changing at a certain taste. Curious, curse yourself for the unveiling for the face. You sitting on a nap for the heart, for the I can be there for the longest you can remember with all my deepest sympathies, and the reason why I left for the season, for the shift, for the close of the rift.
So we all got to stick together right now. This I want to say to you, my sisters and my brothers. Right on, sister. Right on. Listen, if we keep on pushing on, oh, we got to make it a little bit further.
Just a little bit more time. Find out if it be the analytic for the this could be the future uncertain for the just a little bit more time. Find out if it be the analytic for the this could be the future uncertain for the immortal. You don't want ever to be. You don't have that for the uncertain, for the eyes wide open, for the vision blurry, for the wide away, for the lost in the season of could be and maybe. Patience drop, falling, tapping heavily up to the view for the picture filled with that gray and blue. And imagination for the bright tears, separated dark clouds. Vanishing cold tears to the beckoning you for the how mind follows the daydreams. Your cookie crumbles the better days. You're that drug for the cause, for the many sleepers, and maybe the kin with the clenching fits and I hate. And whether or not for that to call something fate. But I can still want that for the signal your face will be closer to what they can feel about you for the sense of control. I'm in an awe for the losing, waits for the stay for the wait for you. Every time I hear for the go hard, the rest of the mirror, but I can care so much for the misery. I can find it for the you could be that sacrifice you can sometimes happen to help someone else and with the caring about the sacrifice. You could want it, maybe you can want more. But this is the other color for yourself and you needs and unconditional care for that. You could be the sacrifice in the life of the world for the kind of sin you could be live for that higher. You can imagine that sacrifice begin every day like I do not have one for the actually for the guessing of the writing is split for the emotion for the taking of the drain of thought. I rather that word show me for the blessing living the work for the cleaning up my mind. Now for the dropping of the for the music poetry for the easy for the little when they rain to the lows to see for those who try to look away for the poets that walking on by what the wrong that they compare. Contrast, you wanna find out for the so many questions like how this could be the workplace. Sitting inside of your ass and for the building and images to prove the dead what I can find out for the only for the what you could afford to supposed to be good door for this to making yourself right for the wrongs and rights. You better to elevate me for the not to be the magician. You can find that for the imagination, the ignition for you to be the man your mission for the find that for the person. A poem for the simple dream for you can remember you were just that for the kid for the just to have the crush of the real reality for the making your own for this and not to be still for the awakening of your black and white for this to I would hope that you can see that color. For the memories containing the work of art for the to not be coming close in the raw beauty I suppose the imperfections if we only had our own for the is it be the afraid to for the make it so beautiful. It would be lost and hidden away for the known for the broken for the day of birth and to the beginning for the which you can find that for the I and be the rules and yours to trust that for the opportunities and never to be the discard of all things. Hypnotic place with the person's eyes and color hair. The sign for this will be the holy life of the world for the actions and sign I keep for the carry the universe into the shoulders of asking for the ways and nothing for the brilliant light inside the world. Guys, the darkness state of your beautiful does not need to be made up for the beautiful it's to be natural for the day for the fleeting. That love and slub and felt. In that beauty that love and slub and felt. In that beauty that love and slub and fell into foreign. In that beauty that love and slub and fell into foreign to that. In that beauty that love and slub and fell into foreign to that darkness and now hurt and finding freedom to show you how. Deep into the memory still somehow found a girl dressed in an unstained white. Ran home. Gone by, moved so fast as the lead was mine. Fell into the game that was lost, it was past that smile for the feeling of the hurt when I should be last. Coming near the finish, and you can raise your hand. It was me since somehow I knew. First, set, turning to the moon and I looked into the face and thinking that it was just hidden for the glance. Kept staring those eyes, bleeding along the grave for the scene, the color for the revealing of the way it ended. Here is where your journey began and where your fate is guarded from the course. Even if you are not knowing for the worst, you awaken to your ever-present life. So you will lay there waiting for the new dream to land, lead you out into where unknown the hope. My closet filled with those and I can only find a recommendation of why I supposed to be myself. Closet is filled with clothes, and moths have got into the few places, and I believe in it quick. Methods of letters and orders and black and white, cut a plate. Only for the object watch for them. Understanding my language and I cannot speak. Cry whenever you listen pain, but if I didn't get it from the grade the first teacher, you don't need to know all that I do for the making that I am today for the argument be find myself in an eye for the many times that you make me for the behavior, get the bad and the top. It's a change that I have to do for the life that I give the life and sacrifice. Make me that happy, I can be the relation you ask me about. The person I can find always with the light within you to shine. You are the one with the divine for the last time you connected with your soul. Knowing that your soul has gotta go for the able to be this home for the purpose, for the being, for the you could be that, for the maintaining as well. Manual enough to start that for the forgiving. Manualized for the soul to be scrolled. You need to know for the everything to do, for that to show, for the let that spirit be driving into your life, for this to be the life to survive you when you take when your life when you will, for you can go down for the need of the rest, for the spirit is on the wheel. Guarantee success and not that for the mind to be decluttered with you surely suffer. Your mind needs to be free for that the spirit work from you freely for the everyday light that shine. It all be all you do for the supreme good that every night cannot be seen. You cannot see the worst for the being for the ever to transfer in your current reality to let it say for the giving the birth of the you. It's not the very, very best of what you do for the love that you're giving. You count for the what you keep what you do for the all I count. All arise above that situation at hand. Remember you can maintain that supreme grand. Having that majestic do for the remember you give it the love and the play. The strongest of them all for this to be the woman. The strongest of them all for the work of taking care of that. The labor to give birth for the still keep it small in places you can find that. Underestimated for the power of the woman, for the capability to do everything that man can do for the instant for the being able to give it the best of what she doesn't. You can stay awake without the nectar, the blinking, the working all the time, and hopefully will never do hardships. Never for the word I heart it was for the woman to be the courageous as she is for the strength. Not to bury. Don't take that for the politeness of the weak, because only can teach you to be strong enough for this thinking how to respect who they are. You are that for the social breakaway, for the tenders to the complacency, for the border, for the figures that want to know you to the stuff that's flattened by the personal. Cinemas of the tension. For those to be that for the 15 seconds of favorite walking through the hours a day that gives me. Vows of faith and trust. Other memories of the cherishing forever inside of the heart for the toast and the nest. Be that for the giver, for the relationship to be strong enough for the bridge, for the big along, but it beats with the hands that make it go on. Making it alone, the bodies and broken forever for the future, for the beauty, that for the bliss. Watching over for the angels to be for the happiness and the love you do for the beauty without that pain and sorrow.
That beauty that love and slept and fell into. In that beauty that love and slept and fell into. In that beauty that love and slept and fell into. Far into that darkness and now hurt and find her freedom to show you how. Deeper into the memory still somehow found the growing beauty, dressed in an unstained white. Ran home, gone by. Who's the fastest leave was mine. Fell into the game that was lost, it was past. That smile for the feeling of the hurt where I should be last. Stumbling near the finish and you could raise your hand. It was me since somehow I knew. First set, turning to the moon.
And that beauty, that love and slumber fell in so far into that darkness and now hurt and find a freedom to show you how. Deep into the memories still somehow found the growing beauty, dressed in an unstained white. Ran home, gone by, so fast as the lead was mine. Fell into the game that was lost, that was past. That smile for the feeling of the hurt where I should be last. Stumbling near the finish and you can raise your hand. It was me since somehow I knew. First, set, turning to the moon and then looking into the face and the blinking and it was just hitting for the glance. Kept staring those eyes and gleaming around the grave for the singing, the color for the revealing of the way to end. Here is where your journey began and where your fate is guarded from the course. Even if you are not knowing for the worst, you wake into your ever-present life. So you will lay there waiting for the new dream to land, lead you out into where unknown to hold. My closet filled with those and I can only find a recommendation to why I supposed to be myself. My closet is filled with clothes and moths have got into the few places and I believe in quick methods of the letters and the orders of the black and white for the color plates and pictures. It could be the only for the entourage for thank you for saving and understanding my language that I cannot speak. Cry for never it was in pain for death I didn't feel it for the you were the first teacher that taught me that all that I knew for to make me that I am today for that I can be the only to tie myself in a knife for the many times and you can make me for the behaving get the bad for the thought for the heart filled with this love and so poor. So pure. It doesn't change what I have to do for the eye, for the eye to give the life, for the sacrifice, for the everything you can make me that happy I can be for the days you pass me by, for the good person I can find the nights and to spend awake. And the caring for me, for the feeling, for the when I had that pain, for the giving, when I had that wound, for the taking of the smile, and happily I can be, of course, and you can be the love, heartbreaking yourself. Call me your word, heartbreaking my heart. For the millions of times I fall apart, for the sins I fall into the fix you guys. My love, connecting with your soul. May your day breathe language for the brain supreme. You awaken for the dream, for the I can say that today to be the middle. For the weak, for the remember you are stronger than ever the weak. For the may you all bring for the love and the happiness of the ensure you for the rest of your best. Always with the light for the within you to shine. You are the one with the divine for the last time you connected with your soul. Knowing that your soul has got to go for the able to be this own for the purpose, for the being, for the you could be that for the maintaining it well. Manual enough to start that for the forgiving. Manualized for the soul to be scrolled. You need to know for the everything to do, for the that to show, for the let that spirit for the driving into your life, and this to be the life to survive you when you take when your life on your wheel, for you can go down for the need of the rest, for the spirit is on the wheel. Guarantee success enough that for the mind to be decluttered when you can surely suffer. Your mind needs to be free for that the spirit to work through you freely for the light that shine. It'll all be all that you do for the supreme for the ever not cannot be seen. You cannot see the worst for that the being for the ever to transform your karma reality the letter say for the giving the birth for the you. It is not the ever very best of what you do for the love that you give and get confident with the people you do for the all unkind. All arise above that situation at hand. For remember you can maintain that supreme brand, having that majestic day for the remember you give it the love and the play. And the strongest of them all for this to be the woman. The strongest of them all for the work for the taking care of for that. For the labor to give birth for the still keep the smiling face and you can find that. Underestimated for the power of the woman, for the capability of doing everything that man can do, for the isn't afraid of anything, for the give it the best of what she does, and you can stay awake without the knife for the blinking, the working it all the time at home for whatever these hardships. Never for the word how hard it was for the woman to be the courageous as she is for the strength. Not to worry, don't take that for the politeness of the weakness, for the only can teach you to be strong enough for the thinking how respected they are. You are that for the social breakaway, for the tendrils and the complacency, for the boredom, for the figures that want to know you to the stumps and that to flattened by the personal cinemas of the attention. For the those to be that for the 15 seconds of fame of walking to the opposite day that years of me. Who supports vows of the faith and trust? You are the memories of the cherishing forever inside of the heart for the toes and the nest be that for the together for the relationship to be strong enough for the bridge for the big along for the beach with the hands that look and get long making it along the bodies and glow with it forever for the future for the beauty that for the bliss. Watching over for the angels to be for the happiness and the love and you too for the forward for the beauty for the without the pain and sorrow.